Hello, Sable Duo Gaming here, and I haven't made a video for a while because I've been playing Terraria a lot. Now, this is actually a good thing for my channel because I came up with this perfect video. And while playing, I made a realization. I don't know if anyone else has realized this, and I don't even know if this isn't just a huge coincidence or not. But I found enough evidence to call this a theory. Now, the theory for this video is that I have a reason to believe that OCRAM is actually Cthulhu, because if you hadn't realized yet, Cthulhu himself isn't in Terraria, or is he? Now, let me elaborate on this theory. The evidence that shows OCRAM to possibly be a Cthulhu is that the links between them. The links are that the traits they all share together are just too similar for me to believe that it's just a coincidence. The traits being that OCRAM has 3 eyes, including his 2 forms. How many eyes does Cthulhu have? 3. His twins are his 2 main eyes, and you have Cthulhu is the center eye. That's 3 eyes, just like OCRAM. Another trait that Cthulhu and OCRAM share is that you also have to fight Cthulhu's brain. And guess who else is the only boss in the entire game to also have a fully exposed brain? That's right, OCRAM. And also, did you know that OCRAM sends out enemies that look extremely similar to the enemies that Brain of Cthulhu send out? The only difference between them is that OCRAM's minions have slightly larger pupils and have spikes around them. That's literally the only difference. Can this be a coincidence? I'll let you decide. And also, even another trait. It's not really a trait, it's a link that they have between them. It's a reference point, I guess. The Eye of Cthulhu and OCRAM both are summoned into battle by the use of an item that both have the adjectives as suspicious looking, and those are the only 2 items in the game that actually have that adjective suspicious looking. And because of this, I can believe that the suspicious looking eye is the eye, and the suspicious looking skull is the skull to the entire head, which is another link between them. I even came up with another common trait, and I went in deep with this one because the trait that OCRAM shares, this trait relates to how his face of OCRAM relates to Cthulhu from real life. And I don't mean he's real, I mean from the real legends from the 1920 book or whatever he was from, I don't know. The trait being that OCRAM has spider-like legs on his face. But if you think about it, why would he have legs on his face? And if he's supposed to be Cthulhu, then won't it make sense if those were actually those facial tentacles that Cthulhu has, and you just thought that they were legs? I mean, it looks like an easy thing to mistake for, because you have no idea that OCRAM is Cthulhu until this video, I bet. Unless you know this. But are you convinced yet? No? Well, then let me explain why OCRAM looks so different than Cthulhu and all of those other traits, like how OCRAM has jagged teeth and jagged plates and has like a different color and looks just all more sinister, I guess, than Cthulhu. Well, I'll tell you why OCRAM looks so different in these ways. But first, I will need to explain to you a plot that I made up myself. I theorized it because it fits so perfectly with it, and it just good. Listen, hear me out. This is that I believe that when you defeated the Eye of Cthulhu, the Souls of Sight, went straight to the brain of Cthulhu, because, as you may know, your soul doesn't leave your body until you actually die. So his Souls of Sight were instantly transferred to the brain, because he needs to die first before his souls can leave him. And when his Souls of Sight went to his brain, he was given an extra eye that you can see on his heart, on his second form, and it's also why the Eye of Cthulhu himself doesn't drop any Souls of Sight, even though you can obviously see he is a giant eyeball. Now, the brain doesn't drop the souls either. Well, this might be because the Souls of Sight were dropped, but you couldn't see the Souls of Sight when they were dropped, because you might only be able to perceive souls and interact with them after killing the Wall of Flesh, because he represents Satan, and after his death, you take on his place to reap souls. I decided that this is most logical, because 1, Wall of Flesh is in hell, and that's a fact. I didn't even cuss there, it's in the game spoken as hell, and that's what it's called. And also, there's not any souls of anything in the game at all until you defeat the Wall of Flesh. And that's how I came up with this idea. And now, in between the time you kill the brain of Cthulhu and the Wall of Flesh, what might have happened to the Souls of Sight? With that, what could have happened to the Souls of Sight? Well, I suspect that someone could have built a machine for the souls to live on inside of, and now this machine could actually be the twins. And after you kill the twins, you finally collect the Souls of Sight. Now, how does this relate to OCRAM? Well, I'll tell you. After defeating the twins, he drops multiple Souls of Sight. Now, that means that he obviously has multiple souls. Now, isn't it possible that Cthulhu actually had a lot more souls than what the twins dropped? Because if OCRAM actually is supposed to be Cthulhu, then that means OCRAM's Souls of Blight would 100% be the other half of Souls of Sight that the twins never dropped. I thought this because the word blight literally means disease. Now, how could OCRAM's half of souls be disease-ridden? Well, maybe because they have been sitting in the frickin' Crimson for a while, and in that time, the half of the souls got infected with blight from the Crimson, and whoever built the twins had just never used those half for the twins, and so the Souls of Blight had just remained alone and neglected in the Crimson for so long. The Souls of Blight used their powers to manifestate their selves as OCRAM, because the Souls of Blight were tired of being neglected to an extreme extent that the souls created its own evil powers out of those emotions to become OCRAM and destroy the world for neglecting them. Now, this was the plot that I had came up with that actually ties up and explains everything that happened to Cthulhu, and it perfectly justifies why and how OCRAM is Cthulhu. And now, after I came up with this plot, I can't even imagine how OCRAM isn't Cthulhu. It just, to me, makes perfect sense, fits in perfectly, and explains everything but one thing. Who is that person who made the twins? I would also assume that he or she also created all the other mechanical bosses. Who knows? Maybe if I'm right, then that person could actually be revealed as the true final boss in some future update or something. But I can't end this video without reminding you all that this was all just a theory and none of it has been confirmed. But I do personally highly anticipate that my prediction will be confirmed. If not, my prediction will probably be really close to what, I mean, like almost dead on close to what would be confirmed. But you can believe me if you want. This has been SableDuo Gaming here. Leave a like, comment, share this video, and most importantly, please subscribe. I'm currently signing off for now, but stay tuned in for future videos. Bye!